This is the second episode of Cooking with Mrs. Knight, and what I've decided to do today is Katsu Curry, which you can adapt to things that you like and you can change it to things that you prefer. What I'm going to do is bread the chicken and then cook it and then make a sauce to go with it. So you don't have to have it with the sauce, you can just do your own thing. If you want chips or jacket potato or something with the chicken, you can do that. So I'm just going to show you how to bread the chicken first, and those year 7s that I had before we finished will remember I was doing chicken nuggets, and it's pretty similar but you're doing it with the full chicken breast instead. And you can flavour it up with what you want. You can make it spicy, or you can make it crunchier, or you can make it different, it's up to you. So first of all, I've got chicken breast. Now you can use other meat, fish. Fish works really well with this as well, almost like fish fingers. Chicken breast is nice because it's lean, and so it's not got much fat on it, and it's also really tender, and it's quick to cook. If you use other parts of the bird, like the drumstick or the thigh, it's a little bit tougher because it's had more exercise. So the breast is really tender and lean. So I've got normal chicken breast here. You can trim any white fat off if you want, there's very little. And I'm going to make it easier to cook and cook more evenly, I'm going to flatten it. So the way I'm going to do this is give it a bash with a rolling pin. Now you can, if you want, if you haven't got a rolling pin at home, you can use, I don't know, anything really, like a tin, but as long as you use something which you protect from cross-contamination. So basically I'm using cling film, but you could use baking parchment or tin foil, something that's not going to break. So when you use my rolling pin, I'm going to flatten it out, give it a little bash. Okay, so we're bashing it out to make sure it's even. Makes it cook more evenly too. You could use one of these, like a meat hammer, but that's a bit more aggressive. And chicken breast is quite tender, so it'll break up a bit more. But you could use the end of it like that. And the good thing about doing this is you can make one chicken breast, it makes it quite a bit bigger, so you can make it go further as well. So once you've got your chicken breast flattened and it's more or less even, be careful of your cling film. You can reuse that, but just careful where you're putting it. And notice, guys, that I'm using a red chopping board for raw meat, so we should be aware about preventing cross-contamination. So we've got our chicken breast there, all flattened out, and the first thing I need to do is to dip it in some flour. Now, people might remember when we were doing this with chicken nuggets that we call this panéing, as the French say, and it's really coating it in breadcrumbs, that's all it means. So if you put some flour in it first, it helps the egg when we come to that stage. So I'm going to dip it in some flour, any flour will do. If you've got self-raising plain flour, it doesn't really matter, just turn it over. And again, you'll notice I'm using a fork. If you want to use your fingers, as long as you wash some hands properly before and after, it's okay. Shake off any excess. Oh, I've forgotten to do the egg. So then you're going to dip it in some egg. So I'm going to whack the egg like I did yesterday. Okay. And I'm going to just mix that up. Do one egg at a time, and then if you need any more, you can always add to it. And then I'm going to put my floured chicken breast, and you can put salt and pepper in that as well if you want to season flour, and that's going to go into the egg. And basically swirl it around like that. And the egg, yesterday it was acting as a binding agent, and today it's similar really, but it's helping stick breadcrumbs onto it. Now, before I put it in the breadcrumbs, these are panko breadcrumbs, which you can get at supermarkets. They're a bit more crusty kind of breadcrumbs than normal, but you don't have to have those. Don't be put off because you haven't got something. You can either use, these are from Asda, or you can do Tesco or whatever. These are normal breadcrumbs, or you can make your own. We've made those in school with fresh bread. Or stale bread is even better because it's more crusty. Okay, and you could add things to the breadcrumbs like crisps, which you can make it crunchy, or you could put cornflakes, and and things like that in. So you can really flavour up the breadcrumbs however you want. So when you've flavoured your breadcrumbs, or when you've got them, you can just dunk the chicken, into that. And you might notice it's preparation here, it's like a little production line, and I've got different forks and different equipment at each plate, because then they don't get all gooey and sticky and breadcrumbed when I'm using them. So you coat your chicken, move it around, get every little bit kind of coated in it, and that's the first stage. Now if you like Kentucky or KFC, you might want to flavour the breadcrumbs with some seasoning. I haven't got the secret seasoning, but if you wanted to put like herbs or spice in this bit and just make the breaded chicken, then you could do that, and that's all you do really. So there's your breaded chicken. You might do one per person, but you can see they're quite big, and with Katsu Curry you actually cut it up, or traditionally they cut it up to put on the curry, so that might serve 2 people. So to cook it, all you need to do is to put a bit of oil in a frying pan, and you're going to brown it each side and then stick it in the oven for about 10-15 minutes. Just make sure it's not pink in the middle and that it's white all the way through, but because it's thin and you've battered it, it cooks quicker. Heat some oil up and brown it both sides, stick it in a baking tin and in the oven for 15 minutes. That's your breaded chicken. So if you wanted to just do nuggets, goujons, chicken breast like this and serve it like that, that's fabulous. Heat a little bit of olive oil or sunflower oil or butter in a frying pan, and I'm just going to, perhaps it needs to be a little bit hotter, I'm going to just fry that until it's a couple of minutes each side, and it should turn golden brown. You don't have to do this, you can put it straight in the oven, but I just like the crunchiness and it just seals the outside of it. So when it's golden brown, it's going to go in a baking tin and pop it in the oven to finish off while I make the sauce. Golden brown on one side and it's going on the other as well. So what I'm going to do now is just pop that in a baking tray, and that goes on at 180 or 200 degrees, gas mark 5 or 6. Okay. Now the ingredients for Katsu curry are pretty basic to any normal curry. You've got fresh ginger, garlic and onion, and then the heat comes from the chilli and the flavour comes from the spices and curries. But if you don't have it, don't worry about it. You can do it without all this. You can do it with just curry powder and even ground ginger. If you've got like ground ginger, like you put in ginger biscuits, it's fine. So you've got ground root ginger, and to peel it you can use a teaspoon, and it just smells lovely, does this. And you need to it's a bit sinewy, a bit because it's been grown in the ground, and it's a bit stringy if you like. But you can peel it with a teaspoon quite easy. You can cut off the bits you don't need. You can buy it in, as I say, it's quite commonly bought now, so you can buy it everywhere. You can cut off any bits, and you can smell that nice gingery flavour. And all I do with that, I grate it because it's easier. So just grate it on the thick grater. You can chop it if you don't have a grater, or you, as I say, don't worry about it. Don't be put off by recipes because you haven't got all the ingredients. Just try and adapt it. You could just use curry powder or curry paste in this. But this is the basis for any curry. Fresh ginger, and that goes in my pan. And garlic, which I've peeled a couple of cloves of garlic. You can get lazy garlic and you can get lazy ginger as well, and that's absolutely fine. And you can chop it or you can crush it. Okay, if you're going to peel it, you've got your clove of garlic. Just take its top and its tail off, peel the skin off it, and that's your garlic clove done. Okay, as I say, if you don't want to crush it, or you don't have a garlic crusher, don't let it put you off. Just chop it up, it's fine. And the onion, which I showed you yesterday how to do, off with its head, and just remove that rooty bit from its hairy bottom, and bridge cut through and just peel it. And don't worry if your onion's got a bit of, it's grown in so many layers that it's got a bit of skin in the middle of it, this one, but we'll just pick that out. Okay, so you remember what you do. It's a bit messy here. Remember what you do. You do your bridge cut, knife almost through to the root, and that root holds it all together so it doesn't fall to bits. Okay, and then you just claw cut, and you can cut it. Okay, and you can just dice it. Now, my intention with this is to puree it or to use a food processor just to get rid of the lumps. So it doesn't really matter if your onion's not that perfect. And again, if you don't have a food processor, don't worry, you can have it a bit more chunky. And that's your onion. So basically, I've got garlic, ginger, and onion in my pan. And I'm going to fry that off, and that's your basis of most curries. And really what you do to it then, crying, all you do to it then is add your spices and your liquid to make the curry sauce. Okay. What I've been doing is I've just sauteed or just gently fried the onion, garlic and ginger until it's quite soft in the pan. It should only take about a few minutes. And now I'm going to season it up. Now, as I said before, you haven't got spices, don't worry about it. You can just put curry powder straight in. But curry powder is really only made up of something called garam masala, turmeric, which is we've used this quite a bit in school. This gives the nice yellow look to any curry sauce, and cumin, which is traditionally an Indian spice. But you can experiment, you can mix and match. They just really give it the flavour. And these are all available at your local supermarket. I got these big ones from the range, which is quite good for things like that, but you can get them from your local supermarket. And basically that adds you flavours to the sauce. And if you want the heat, the spiciness, then it comes from chilli. Now you can use fresh chilli, which is like a normal red or green chilli, if you've got that, but you can just use chilli powder or chilli flakes. And if you like it quite spicy, probably about a teaspoon. It's very hot, I think, chilli flakes. I'm also going to put in a teaspoon of salt. That was the dog. And a teaspoon of pepper. So I've added all my spices in, including my spicy chilli. And if you don't like it too spicy, just add less chilli, or you can have kind of creamy mixture. And that's quite a lot of spice in there, but it's to add lots of nice flavour. You just dry fry that, or fry it in the oil with the onions and garlic and ginger for a couple of minutes. And then you think about putting the liquid in. Now, for Katsu Curry, it's traditionally coconut milk, and you can buy this anywhere as well. You can buy reduced fat if you want, or you can just buy the normal full fat stuff. And it's a bit strange, coconut milk, because it's got like almost like solids at the top and liquids at the bottom. So you just put that in, okay. And that adds the creaminess to the Katsu Curry. You could add some milk, you could add some cream, you could add like a stock cube, which I might do. I'm just going to see what the flavour's like. But what I am going to add, I've stirred that round, I'm going to add some water. Okay, now you can see already that looks more like the Katsu Curry colour. But if you're worried about it, just swill out the can. Just play it by ear, see what it's like at the end. I don't thicken it at all, so you don't have to add flour or gravy granules or any corn flour or any thickening agent, because it should be quite runny katsu. And I'm also going to blitz it with a hand blender or a food processor to get rid of any lumps. So it will thicken up a little bit naturally anyway with the evaporation as well. So that is your basic Katsu Curry. Now what you've got to do now is taste it hygienically with a clean spoon and see whether you want to add anything else to it. So I think it needs a bit of more seasoning, so I'm going to add a chicken stock cube, or chicken, one of these chicken jelly things. Plop that in, and I could add some more salt and pepper, and I'm just going to simmer that while my chicken's in the oven, and it's just going to cook down a little bit and get more flavour. So I'm going to just simmer that, which is in a low bubble, and you'll see it change now to just little bubbles, and that'll take about 10-15 minutes just to get some more flavour in it, and then we'll assemble the whole dish. Just blitz the curry using my stick blender, just to make it smooth, but you don't have to do that.
The chicken's already out of the oven, looking nice and golden brown, and I'm going to put katsu sauce onto the plate, and then I'm going to slice my chicken using the correct chopping board.
And you could put that on top of rice, or you can serve it with chips, jack potato, and you can see that from what I said before, that you can have one chicken breast will serve several people if you want. Okay, so that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'm going to finish my chicken katsu curry off with a little bit of chopped coriander, and then it's good to go. So I hope you've enjoyed watching, and look forward to seeing you next time.